We're live.
All right, excellent. Welcome, everybody. You are live with the amazing KP Weaver, otherwise known as Karen. Congratulations, Karen, with your #1 debut here for the Miracle of Intent. How's that feeling?
Really good. I got the dress to match. There you go.
Love it. Love it. Well, for those of you that don't know Karen, she is author, publisher, business owner of many businesses and many dimensions. She's a mom, as we say here with my American accent. She was also the, do they call it mompreneur or mumpreneur?
Osmompreneur,
Yes,
yes.
of the year for 2020. Amazing. And as far as I can tell, she's heading on her way to full media mogul status.
Having fun doing it, Adrea.
I know you are. I know you are. I know you are. It's always such a pleasure for us to have what I call a quantum conversation, where we're just going to lift people up and share this amazing work. And hopefully everybody's just vibrating through the rest of their day, feeling extraordinary, because that's what it's about. That's what I know you care about. And that's certainly what we're all about together and everything that we get to do. All right, let's just get right to it. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Okay. What I want you to do is differentiate for all of us, which you do at the very beginning of the book. But the difference between goals, intentions, and I put dreams as opposed to miracles, because I think it's important for people to really think about. It was really important for me in knowing you, the difference between our goals, our intentions, and our dreams. And I just want to show my little thing. I put extra emphasis on intentions because they are really the backbone. So give us a go.
Absolutely. This is intentions all the way. I've been talking about this a lot today. It's funny because it is something that everybody needs to realize, is that there's a difference between goals and intentions. And the difference being, goals are kind of safe because you set stepping stones to reach and achieve a goal, and you work hard to get there and you focus, and there's nothing wrong with goals. I've set goals in my life and I work towards them, but they feel like work. Okay, so I like the whole intention, free flowing kind of approach to things, because the results are always bigger than you could ever imagine. So when I set a powerful intention, I open myself up to endless possibilities, because whenever I have my peripheral vision on, all of these kind of opportunities are going to come to me that's aligned with making that intention happen. And I could never have pinned them down as a path to a goal, because I didn't know they existed when I would be setting out a goal. So with intentions, the possibilities are endless. The journey is so much more fun because it's not all about the destination. It is quite often about the journey. So yeah, that's the difference.
I love it. I love this. On page 21, you say, when we set an intention, an energy ball is in motion. I just absolutely love that, because really it's we're going to talk about it later on in the interview, as you talk about it a little bit later on in the book. But I love how this notion of it's like it's the most important thing to you, but you almost have no idea how it's going to happen or what's going to happen. And so you set it free. But as we're going to tell everybody, there's a little bit more to it than that. So it'll be really fun for people. I actually love, I love a little focus. So we'll get there in a little bit. They're just going to have to hold on. Okay, next question that I had for you is, how do you set intentions? How is it? Is it ceremonial? Is it deliberate? Does it vary? How do people set these intentions? How do you do it? And then how might you recommend that other people do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I always talk about when you combine an intention with an energy flow, that you need both for it to really flow. So, but I set intentions. Sometimes I'm afraid to think, Adrea, to be honest, because I can, think, wow, and then set something in motion, and if I action it in any way, it just sort of supercharges to a result. Then there's other times where I'll set an intention, and the time and circumstance isn't, it isn't aligned at that time. So I just do what I need to get it to where I can get it to, and then let it be and let it come when it's time. So if I want to achieve something, or if, for example, I'm going to use writing a book as an example, okay? So whenever I set an intention to write a book, when I set the intention to write this book, I actioned creating space to have it in my life. So because quite often we have our lives pretty full and we need to create some space for that magic to happen. So I always start to create some space or a new habit. So whenever I'm writing, I generally get up at 5 a.m. and start my day like that. It's more free flowing and more aligned with the dreamlike state, and the words kind of start to come. So that's how I would set an intention if something's really calling to be brought to reality.
So it's a dual, it's a play. There's both. It's a something that you do, and you have a goal, and it's a dream, and it's all kind of mushing together. But it is action oriented. Intention has action to it in a flowing way, which is so beautiful. Okay, it kind of goes to my next question, which is, what does letting the intention live a while mean to you? I know you do this as well. So you'll set this intention, and then you'll just let it live there. Maybe not necessarily actioning it, but not knowing you're actioning it. It's a living, breathing entity. I know that you've described it to me that way before, and I just love that.
You can just feel it, can't you? With every aching bone, every atom in your body. So whenever an intention starts to come into motion, it's because thoughts become things, they become matter. We know this, you're the quantum queen, Adrea. You know how things roll. So whenever something's starting to come to be, you can feel a stirring. But of course, I used to come from where I wanted everything right now, but I understand that right now is not always the perfect time. So I've learned patience to let things take hold. And I often talk about it as planting a seed into the ground and making sure that the soil for that seed is the best, the best it can be, so that it nurtures the soil to fruition. I do what I need to tend to that, and then I let it germinate. Yeah. When it peeks its head out of that surface, that's the most magical thing, because you can see it starting to grow into something really amazing and beautiful. And I talk about this in the book because Andrew Wallace, and his intention book, I loved it so much. And he talks of the seed analogy, and it's actually how it happens, because an intention is a thought that is a kind of seed that you plant out there, and it needs energy to grow and love and whatever, all of those kinds of things.
Yeah. To bloom, and you have to keep watering it, and you have to keep tending to it, and you have to really see where it's going to go. And some just bloom for that season, and some become giant oak trees. We don't know necessarily, right? Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. Let's talk about that opening quote. Time is always one of my favorite topics. And you say, "Time is precious, so intend with passion." So can you talk about that?
Absolutely. I don't want to be someone who gets to the end of my time and goes, wow, I wish I had have done that. I want to do it all now, and I'm not going to wait for the future. I want to experience life now. And yes, I may slow down at a time, but that would be a choice. But right now, for me, I love the adventure. I love experiencing life. And I love living my life by my design. My life may be someone else's nightmare, and that is totally fine, but it's my dream, and this is how I choose to do it. And so time is absolutely precious, because it's unknown how long we're going to be gracing this earth for. So why not just live life to its fullest, share it, and share everything that you learn, because with others, bring them along, let that vibration flow out. If everybody was more open to all of that, I think that our world would be amazing. So that's something I'm very passionate about, is just leading the way to see what's possible. I
Yeah.
don't see boundaries. I just want to go infinite possibilities to see what's possible, but without compromising my core values and principles. I just don't
Yeah.
compromise them whatsoever. But that's why I feel so fulfilled and energized all the time, is because I never feel that I have to compromise myself to have this adventure. So and that's why I'm really passionate. I want other people to realize that you don't have to sacrifice everything to make dreams and wonderful things happen in your life. You can find a beautiful, perfect balance around you to pursue your passions, to pursue your purpose. And those people who truly love you will support that around you. It's amazing what happens.
Yes, absolutely. This leads me into one of my favorite things that you talk about, inspired thoughts. So on page 41, you say, inspired thoughts are gifts. Act immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something I think that people don't do, and I'd love for you to talk about this. This is a golden nugget, a key, a gift, So let's talk about that. This is certainly something that you've taught me over our time together. So
this is it, isn't it? Isn't it, Adrian? And I talk about inspired thoughts. So when you set an intention, if you just want to sit and wait for it to come to you, you go on ahead because you'll be sitting. But when you whenever you set an intention, a thought process in motion, you are going to get opportunities and inspired thoughts that come to you. For example, it happens for me all of the time. I'll get an inspired thought, and then I'll go and Google something and take that action, or I'll go and have a conversation, or I'll ring that person. I'll have the courage to take that next step, and it requires courage, requires a bit of creativity often, but what's the worst that can happen? Somebody can say no to you, but if it's, and whenever you get an inspired thought, it is the universe sending you a message that what you set the intention for, here's the next step to getting there.
exactly.
It may seem irrational. Don't overthink it. Just have the courage to act. I don't even think anymore. I just go with it.
I just do it too. Yeah, I just do it. Even if it's weird, like turn here or walk there or don't do that, or nope, not the time. Or it's amazing when you live in this intentionality. I think of it as you just get pinged all the time, like a little tap on the shoulder. Over here, please. Call that person, do that thing. It is living to me because it's so much more fun.
It is exhilarating. It really is. And please, guys, don't think that, it's because it just becomes part of you. You don't even overthink it. You just do it. You just go. You start to be doing, not just sitting, waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
You're doing all of them, and it's aligned doing. So it's not wasted time. You absolutely know that step has got you closer to what your intention is. And you have to have faith in that, because quite often, you don't have the results straight away, but that is a part of the process to get to where you want to go.
Right. And it's like, if you ignore it, they'll stop coming. Also, if you're so busy pushing on this or that, you don't hear the little taps or the little whispers. So it's finding that flow for you personally that gives you that next step.
One of the things that's really important to know with intentions, isn't it, Adria, is that when you set an intention, it is not up to you to decide how that's going to come to be. It is up to you to action the inspired thoughts and the opportunities to get there that present themselves in front of you, and identify that they are aligned with that. And I talk about this in The Power of Knowing. That's why the miracle of intent came after the power of knowing. So when you set strong intentions, there's a knowing strategy, and once you use that internal navigation system, you can have unwavering faith and no fear that you know that you are going in the right direction towards your goals. And having that faith in the journey is like, it just gets you there faster, and you have faith in yourself. So getting to know your system as well.
Amazing. I swear, guys, we did not practice this at all. In fact, I haven't talked to Karen for a few days, but I'm just going to say that lead in goes right to my next question so perfectly. So on page 77, you say possibility is a product of strong intention setting. Possibility only arrives when we've intended something, because what is the universe or other people what are they going to know? Talk to us. Tell us more about this possibility. And you've touched on it, but it's like this, it feels to me like you're saying intention is a way to ramp up possibility.
It's like supercharging it and fueling it. If you don't set the intentions, then the possibility doesn't come into motion. So possibilities are infinite. You know, if you have a nice wide open mind, like I do, there's no limits. Only the ones that I choose. I make choice of what I want to happen in my life, and then I make them happen. It's as simple as that. As humans, we often complicate things, but there's a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way, and that's how I roll. And yeah, so possibility is such an open, beautiful, wide, expansive word, and it is actually that. It is open, wide, and expansive, and it is anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Mm-hmm. And you take a step, more possibility opens. You take a step, more possibility opens. Right? It's extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. This is it. I hope I'm not giving away too much here for people, but you'll need to, we're just going to touch on this. But what I found on page 108 was like, okay, thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. She gives us 4 types of focus. 4 types of focus that I think you... grab it. Yeah.
What did I say?
I know. I always do that when you ask me questions. I always go, "Oh, did I? Oh, wow."
Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah. So, can you walk people through this? This is it, guys. This is it.
So, the 4 types of focus are absolute focus. That's my top one, because that's where you're absolutely focused on what you want to achieve with no distractions. You're absolutely committed to it. You're dedicated to your intentions. If it's a goal, you're just absolutely focused. And it's like having layers, you can see people who are absolutely focused. You can identify it because they cannot see past what the intention they have set, and that is totally fine. If that's hopeful focus is where people actually are more, it's just they're hoping more rather than actioning more. And so you can hope all that you want, and I'm all about having hope, but I'd rather action it and be more in control of not even control, but just be more part of the process of something coming to be. It's just so much more fun to be engaged in the whole, the intertwining of energy and actions and all of those kinds of things. It's just so beautiful. And for me, I actually fuse number 1 and number 3 together, which is absolute focus with core value focus, because I never want to compromise my values. I really don't. Like, what I do right now is because I set the intention that I wanted to do something purposeful in the world, but I wanted to be very much a present mom. And I have 6 children, so I want to be able to be there for them, be there for them all of the time, bring them to school, pick them up for school. That's just how is a very big core value. I never want to compromise on my happiness either. That's a very high priority for me, and I want to enjoy and anything I go through as well. So that is just so important to me. And then there's distracted focus, where you set the intention, but there's a nice bright shiny light over there, and you go, whoa, and then you're always coming back. And that's why I come back to the knowing again, is when it's a definite yes for an opportunity or inspired thought, you action it straight away. You go down that path. If it's a or a no, then you just dismiss it straight away, because that's a distraction. So I hope that helps there.
I love it. I think that the degrees to which you talk about our focus were so spot on. With that absolute focus, sometimes we do miss out on the flow. That's kind of what we were talking about before, where you're so focused that you don't see the nuggets. So it's almost like you got to let go of the reins a little bit to let some of that go in. And then when something comes up, you're able to say, what are my core values? And is it a match for me or is it not? Right. And then some things, you're right. Like some things for me that I go, well, I hope that happens, but I'm not too tied into it. I'm not too, it may happen, it may not happen, but it's not, I'm neither here nor there about it. And once it comes
Nice
up,
if it happens. It'd be nice if it happened, but it's not, it's not a
it's
be
not
all
the
now.
end all. Yeah, it's not the end all be all. And of course, distracted focus is would be great if we if we could pop along in life and then go, uh shiny new thing. Yeah, shiny new thing, shiny new thing, shiny new thing. But for those things that we have deep intention for, that require work, part of the fun of it to me is doing all the work that it takes, because the payoff feels so much bigger when you've actively participated in something that you really want for your life, right?
Absolutely.
I
That's
think
the
everybody,
adventure.
right. That's the
Mm-hmm.
adventure of it. So I can't thank you enough for all the nuggets of this book. There's so many things that everybody can find in here, whether you're thinking from a financial perspective and cash flow, as she calls it, or if you're looking for some intention around health and well-being. There's just something for everybody in here. And one thing that's also in here are many, many guests. So we've got some of them here on the line, and I thought maybe you'd want to talk about, in this Life Alchemy series, you're inviting guests to participate in the books. Do you want to talk about that a little bit before we bring somebody on?
Absolutely. And the reason why it's important for me to bring in guests, we brought in guests for book 2 and now book 3, is because it shows real life examples of intention and motion. I can give all the insights and give my examples throughout the book to highlight what the topic I'm talking about in that chapter. But I really wanted to invite some guests who I identify as intention and motion. And so I really wanted to bring guests in that could just display that and share their stories. And so that's always at the back of these books. And Adrea, you are my first guest in this book.
It's so funny. I always forget. Even when I posted yesterday and I was preparing, and then I saw my name.
Yes, I know. Isn't it crazy? Because you write so much, we do so many things together, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Karen asked me to. That's right. I'm in that book.
And I wrote it so long ago that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how many more intentions have arrived, and how many more have come to be after that, right? So I talk about finding my way to Karen. I talk about finding a publisher for my first novel, True at Sky. That's what I talk about, the intention setting. I go way back for everybody, because it is a story that it takes, folks to get to those big dreams and big goals. And True, it was not a just any book. I was taking on the intention of helping people see death as not a terrible, awful thing. And I was wanting to give people a little break and think, oh, maybe what happens after, maybe there's a better story than we can even imagine after. And so I was very delicate with that, because I knew what a delicate topic it was because of my own life experience with death, and knowing the tragedy and also the gift of it sometimes, because that was the way that people could release and be free. And they don't really go anywhere, in my opinion, and certainly in Truett's. So I talk about that. And I really have learned a lot about intention settings from you, because I think you are just so very good at it. Because I, as you well know, can be a little bit on that absolute focus spectrum. So you have really taught me how to, foot off the gas, look out all the windows of the car, not just the one right in front of you, and to go forward. So thank you for that. And if anybody's keen on knowing how true it came to be, it's in pretty great detail there in the Miracle of Intent.
Oh my goodness, I loved reading your chapter, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize, well, I did realize, but I didn't realize, it just goes to show how connected, because we've become very connected. And like you turned down other deals and you just knew, you absolutely had an absolute knowing that there was a publisher you could partner with, and that you would have this productive relationship with. You know what I mean? And we
Yeah, I
partnered.
was not compromising on that, was the core value. I was like, I have to be published by somebody that I can talk to on the phone, that we can have an exchange, that we are in this together, because it's my product. It's a reflection of me. It's my future. It's my career. I'm not going to just hand that over to somebody that I don't know. And when we met, and just all the synchronicities that, everybody, I had a very big breakdown, ready to quit, give it all up. And I happened to be in the Dublin airport. And which is the same airport that I flew into several months later after I had to meet my publisher, Karen, at the castle for a celebration and a launch for the book. So it's really, there's so many cute little, wonderful little things. And you see all the whispers that came along the way. That's what I write about. Those whispers, those nudges, those things, those inspired thoughts that we follow. And I was terrified to go to the castle, absolutely terrified. Whether it showed or not, nobody may know, but I was. I'll just confess it fully.
Best time ever. I think it was absolutely best time ever.
So who should we bring on? Who should we bring on?
Well, Gary's next. Gary.
Okay.
Gary, are you there? He's muted and not on camera. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. There he is. Can we bring you in, Gary, for a few minutes? Awesome. Here he comes. Gary Doherty, the main man.
Go for it. I'll leave it to you. I'll mute myself.
Gary, so we are here. I'm just going to move this thing off my head. So thank you so much for being part of the Miracle of Intent. I was totally honored to have you as part of it. And you share like the intention you had around becoming a TEDx curator is so inspiring, and there's so much for people to learn from it. Can you share with people just a little insight to your chapter?
Firstly, I've got my book. Secondly, I've got my jacket, the colours, so I didn't turn up here half-assed, I'll tell you. But yeah. My intention was to bring TEDx to Derry, Londonderry for the first time in history. Over 26 years, over 100 odd applications had failed, and people had made a choice to give up. They made a choice not to follow through. They made a choice not to be persistent. They made a choice to walk away. And I made a choice before my first application, even not to. Before the very first one, honestly, I made a choice, Karen, to bring that to the city. Maybe 2.5 years ago, approximately, and it was just decided in my mind that day that I decided that I made the intention to pursue that, and that was it. And it wasn't not going to happen. End of story. 100%.
Oh, it's an amazing story. The rest is history, and you have conquered that and beyond. Like, you even had to go and throw in a whole global pandemic, that wasn't stopping you. It's like, wow, this man is unstoppable.
Thank you so much. It was such a journey, it was such a journey, because when I applied for it originally, I had already been a volunteer team member of another TEDx event, and just the once, and I applied for it, and when I look back, it was one of those ones where progress is better than perfection. It was never going to be granted the license, but it had got me off the starting blocks. It's like an author in social media starting to become visible. In 6 months' time or a year's time, your social media will be more professional. You will be better on video. You will be more consistent. I just winged in the application with intention that I'm here. Now you know me. Hello. That was the handshake. That was the introduction. I've arrived. Did I expect to get it? Probably still, even then. But when they turned me down, I wasn't shocked. But I also knew I wasn't going anywhere. So what did I do? That was a temporary failure. But as Henry Ford talks about, it's these things are only opportunities to go again more intelligently. So I went away, took wise counsel, took some advice, and put in a second application. It was a better application, but it still wasn't enough. And I don't know if you want me to go on to it now, but it went on. That process went on.
Let them read it because it's amazing, and the whole journey of it is an amazing. Didn't you read it, Adrea? Is it amazing? You're muted. There you
Yeah,
go.
amazing. Absolutely amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy. I love it.
He's taken over the world, did you? Just watch
Yeah,
this.
I'm
Yes,
ready. I'm
he's amazing.
watching. Ready. Great.
Whenever you're on, Gary, do you want to tell everyone who's watching this about this week and what's happening in the Think network?
Well, firstly, before I do that, if it's okay, I want to take this opportunity to thank you, because without you, none of us are together. Without you, this book doesn't exist. Without you, I have a different gratitude journal. I'm expressing my gratitude here this morning and writing it in faithfully. And since I have met your good self and your lovely sister Emma, who is also backstage and is coming on, my life has went up another gear and another level, and that's down to the people that are in my sphere of influence. And honestly, it's very, very proud. I'm actually very, very humbled and very, very proud to be in a best-selling book, and particularly yours. And that means the world to me, because I never thought that was. I'm somebody that has great intention, as you know, but I never actually had thought that I could do that, and that is only because you created that vehicle, and you created that machine, and you created that intention, and took us all on that journey with you. So I just want to publicly thank you from my heart. I truly mean it, and I'm very, very grateful for you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Gary. You're awesome. Amazing journey to be on with you. So, Gary, share with everyone what's happening this week.
Think Network, if you don't know about it, you should know about it. We are Europe's fastest growing independent empowerment platform, bar none. And I'm being humble saying that, because it should be the world. And we are launching our global empowerment platform, our membership site, which is $7.99 a month. It's not a big sale. I'm just putting it out there. And it is going to have global female empowerment ambassadors, which I'm proud to say you are one, dropping articles in on monthly themes such as inspiration, equality, connection, all the things that we've all talked about. We have got 5 empowerment shows guaranteed per week, where I talk to the female empowerment ambassadors. I talk to all the leaders about their mindset, their intentions, their inspirations, their motivations. We are giving golden nuggets away on the daily. We are going to have monthly meditations that are full of intent, 30-day habitual meditations, where the first one is going to be the 4 agreements, and we're going to follow the 4 agreements in meditation, and that resource is free. We have self-confidence ebooks. We are going to have free everybody will have access to the free webinars. There's vlogs, blogs, just everything, and we're taking over the world with that. And here's the thing, I've set that intention, and I am doing it. And you talk about the universal laws and laws of attraction and laws of vibration and all those laws. What are the 5? I've said this now numerous times recently. The last 5 letters in the law of attraction are action. Nothing happens without action. And that's where the miracle intent comes in for me. If I set my like a missile, if I set my focus on something like a heat-seeking missile, my mind is on that, and I have that firm intention. And it's more than belief; it's faith. And you mentioned that, Karen, a faith and knowing that you're on the right path. I know for certain that I'm going to do that, because my faith is so strong on it. And that's where my mind is now. It's like a higher state of belief. It's knowing and faith. And that I've come full circle with that. You know, even as of November past, when I did my TED talk and talked about 3 feet from gold, that was almost a turning point for me. I'm no longer 3 feet from gold. I'm right up to my neck, drowning in gold.
Absolutely.
And every walk of life, spiritually, emotionally, relationship, financially, opportunity wise, right up to my neck in gold, and rightfully so. And I'm now at the point
swimming around in it.
Yeah,
just swimming in it.
and you get to the point where you humbly expect good things in your life. You mentioned, Karen, about being scared to think things. You know, see if I start thinking about something very strongly, before you know it, you're bloody there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what happens when you're on that flow, and you are it in motion. Absolutely, guys, go and check out the Think Network. It's an empowerment group, and Emma's actually leading with it tonight, and I'm on Thursday night. But there's a special guest on every night this week. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much for everything. You have my love and support from here, and forever ever grateful. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Bye,
Gary.
Gary. Thank you. Good luck with everything.
Lovely meeting you, by the way, too.
You too.
Peace, are you there? Is Peace there? Or we can bring Kelly up. Peace is there. Awesome. We're just going to bring you in. Hey, Peace.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Congratulations, Karen.
Thank you, Peace.
It's wonderful.
Yay! Peace and I, we're you're going to be sick listening to me today, Peace, because we were in Clubhouse earlier together and everything, and we have been connecting so much lately. But we have this amazing friendship, and we just realized 7 years now since I first attended my first Osmompreneur conference, and it changed my life, opened my mind and my heart, and then that was it. Let's go. Big, big, wide world. Here I come. So, Peace,
so
and your contribution is also TEDx related, because you had set an intention, as well as I had last year, to do a TEDx, and you did it. And it's all about the connection economy. So can you share, because you got vulnerable in this book, and I love it. Can you just share about that?
Beautifully written piece.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Thank you. I guess for me, doing a TED talk has been a goal of mine for a number of years, or an intention, I guess, something that I've really, really wanted to make happen. But in 2020, at the start of the year, when I made my vision board, my word for the year for 2020 was vision. And when I made my vision board, I put the TEDx logo on there. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know if it would happen. I just set the intention to really increase my profile, do more speaking, and go for TED.
Yeah.
And then 2020 didn't work out the way that we were expecting it to at all. However, as these things happen, I saw an ad come up for an application. Actually, it was my sister Katie, my business partner, who said, you should apply for this. And so I put together an application, put it in, and got into TED, which was so exciting and wonderful. I'd done that, but I was really surprised at how many blocks and challenges I had to overcome on the journey to getting there. And I think that's where the power of intention really comes into play, that I could have quit. I could have just gone, this is too much. This is too big for me. It's too hard. I'm not ready. Because that's what the voice in my head was trying to say. It was like, no, you don't have to do this. It's okay. You can apply next year. You don't have to do this. But that the intention was so strong, and it was calling me to do it. It was like, come on, you can do this. You've got to keep going. And yeah, it was huge. It was surprising to me. I've done a lot of public speaking. As Karen said, I've been doing Osmompreneur for 11 years now. We've been running the Osmompreneur Awards. We have 500 women come together from all over Australia. I'm speaking all the time. And yet, because it was TED, it was this bigger
something different, but the TED platform, I was the same. I speak all of the time, but there's something different about the lead up to TED. I think because it was a real heart-centered dream. Do you think that piece was really?
I think so. And it's such an incredible platform. I have so much admiration for the TED platform. And I've watched so many incredible TED Talks from women who I admire from around the world. And to be part of the TED family was something that I really valued and really wanted to make happen. So it was something really special and really important.
And I think it brings up something that's really important with intention. These big intentions that we have will come with having to have a lot of breakthroughs and overcome a lot. That's part of the process. That's almost like I wish we could just welcome it and go, yeah, I definitely want to have a breakdown. You know? But it's coming anyway. So not fighting it and just riding the wave of it. And before Karen's, I remember her getting really quiet at times, and I'd be like, knock, knock. Are you in there still?
I was like, but you do, don't you? You set these big intentions, and you know, but you have to evolve into the person that needs to receive them. So that's why you're going to come across challenges and blocks and all of these things. So you gotta go on that quest.
Yeah,
That's what I call it,
It's like the
quest.
heroine's journey, isn't it? It's like
Absolutely.
the challenges, and you've got to battle the fears and the doubts, but you have to ask for help as well. And that, even that, I found was difficult to reach out and ask for the support that I needed, but I had to do it. I knew that if I didn't reach out to those people and ask for that support, I wasn't going to reach this summit of this mountain that I was trying to climb. And so I had to find the courage each step of the way in the whole process. Yeah, it was quite an incredible experience. Yeah,
beautiful.
That's it. Can I ask you a question, please? Because this is what it was for me, and I haven't asked you this before. But what got you on that stage? Was it right? This isn't about me. I need to show up, share this, because I need this message to reach people. You know, that's what it was like. Okay, get out of the way on that stage.
Absolutely. I mean, my TED talk was about the connection economy. It was about my community. So at the end of the day, it wasn't about me. I was doing this for everyone who's part of my community. I was doing it for everyone else who's ever wanted to do something brave. I wanted to show that when you commit to something, when you show up, when you give yourself permission to show up and shine and talk, that actually gives permission to everyone else around you to do big things, to show up and step up and do their best and follow their dreams. So that was a big part of it for me. And I know that a lot of my community were with me on the night in spirit. Some of them were even in the audience, which was beautiful. And some of them are here tonight as well. So if you're watching, if you want to say hi in the comments, I know that there's quite a few of you watching, but it really was about my community and all of those people who I know are watching and are inspired by the things that we're doing. So, yeah.
Love it.
Well, your chapter is really inspiring. It does show that, you know, the journey to receive, setting the intention, then receiving the intention, you know, that journey is there, you know, and you can learn so much from that. So guys, read Peace, and you're just going to be inspired. Thank you so much, Peace. Peace, can you share with everyone as well? You are, you and Katie run the Women's Business School. It's really important to me because this business school is just nurturing new businesses out into the world. I wouldn't be where I am today if it was not for you guys. And I know you've got a scholarship happening at the moment. Can you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I love what we do with the Women's Business School. Katie and I set the intention to create a global business school where women supported each other and helped each other grow and scale their businesses, where experienced entrepreneurs gave back to those who were coming through, and then like a circle, we all work together. So we have an incubator program called Ignite, which is for business owners who are pre-launch and in those first few years of business to really get the foundations right for getting your business off the ground. And we have an accelerator program as well for more established businesses who are ready to scale up and do big things in the world and really make an impact in the world. And the program kicks off in April this year, so applications are open at the moment. And we also have a limited number of full and match funding scholarships available as well. So all the details for that are on our website, the Women's Business School, or our Facebook page as well. So yeah, I really encourage everyone to come and have a look. It's going to be an incredible year working together.
Yeah, it's amazing watching it grow every single year. It's like a mushroom. Is wonderful. And then this is, but wow, it's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So exciting to be here, and congratulations once again, Karen.
Number one. Bye. Kelly, can you come join us, Kelly?
Hey, Kelly.
There's Kelly.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Congratulations, Karen. Never in any doubt. Number one.
Thank you,
So good.
Kelly. And I know it's late for you. It's like after 10 p.m. So I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, I'm a night owl. I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
No.
We talk at all times, don't we? We just talk
I
at all
know
times.
we do. Yeah, that's what I love about you. You just always full of wisdom words. Keep me going. Wind me up and off I go again.
we work on our own clocks, not anybody else.
So yeah,
Kelly,
very special
Kelly,
talk we have.
Kelly, your piece is amazing. It's so full of golden nuggets. Can you share with everyone watching about your piece in The Miracle of Intent?
Yeah, I will do. So I sort of focus a little bit on setting really big goals. I call them bags, big, audacious kind of goals, and then taking the baby steps you need to get there. And I'm a big believer that you can turn dreams into reality if you are intentful about taking those steps and action oriented. So I talk a little bit about that, but I also talk about unpacking the bags as well, getting rid of the hang-ups and the luggage and the things that hold yourself back, and really going for it with true purpose and with true intent on what you want to achieve. And then it becomes a really free way to live and to, just go for it and take the opportunities available and create your own ripples out of, whatever you have at hand. So yeah, I like to build momentum, and you've been great in helping me to do that, to just achieve enormous things. And then and we never stop. I know that we dream up new things all the time and then just go for it. So I heard you talking earlier about living life that way. But yeah, I've been, I might just say, I've been on the whole journey of these books. I started off, I've got this really weird sort of connection to the series in that I read the first book. I don't know if you remember, Karen, I read the first book in your life series, The Magic of Mindfulness, in Wales in the snow. And I got hooked then, and we didn't know each other, had never met. And read that story. Yeah, and it was through a mutual author friend, Tess Woods. And we ended up, I was engrossed in this book about just the magic that lived within yourself. That's the one. This book changed my life. This was the start of an amazing journey, and it got right under my skin around just really embracing the magic that lives inside of you. And on returning back to Australia from Wales, I ended up submitting a story, and the author and publisher connection was formed, and we've been on a long journey since.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing series. Yeah.
And then when we had our conversations, you were just like, "Yeah, I have this poetry collection," and we did not know then what Graffiti Lane was going to be. That was Graffiti Lane was and still is an epic ride, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been a crazy journey. I was always just, churning out these poems, hundreds of them. And it's only when you really stop and pause and think, yeah, okay, I'm going to do something with this. And again, it's the ripple effect. It's just snowballed, and this massive energy has sort of gained momentum and, got a huge following, which you've been a huge, really big part of helping me to build brand and profile. And but I wanted to thank you. My big thank you to you, not just for being my amazing, extraordinaire publisher, but just for bringing joy to what I do. Because only in the last sort of book or so, I've really started to embrace the huge positive energy and get really not on the bus or anything. I'm really enjoying myself, and you've sort of opened my eyes a bit to that, to say live with authenticity. And I write about that a little bit in my contribution to your book, about being authentic to yourself, enjoying things, stopping and pausing, smell the roses. And I am loving the writing journey right now, and I owe that to you. That's my gratitude moment to you. It's the joy.
I love being part of your journey. It's just such a privilege. I just love watching shine. And watch out, guys, we have a big cover reveal coming, and it is it's just amazing, and it's so exciting, and I just adore it. And your next poetry collection is just so rad. Can I even say rad? Is that even a word I would ever say?
Rad. In the northeast we would say Raj, which is the Geordie version of rad. But yeah, it is. It's definitely embracing the past, but in an urban streetwear, which is my vibe. And yeah, it started with Graffiti Lane, and I've never sort of lost my street roots. And I am again embracing them. The past is what brings you to where you are today and gives you the strength in the platform and all the cracks that you have. And yeah, I'm really embracing that right now.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Can I just
one
touch
thing
on one
I
thing?
really, I was just going to say the one thing, Kelly, I admire so much about you is, and I think is such an important, inspiring part of you, is that you work really hard as a managing director of a big company, and you combine it with your authentic poetic self. Like both of them are authentically you. And I think that's when we set the intention of being who we really are, that may be a kick-ass business person and a kick-ass poet, both and together, you know? And I just love that. And I think people poo-poo their sides, their themness, right? And I think you are just such a beautiful example and very inspiring of somebody who doesn't do that, who does all that they want and has created a full, beautiful life, which is what's so nice about your piece in The Miracle of Intent.
Yes,
So,
thanks. I definitely tackled that one with intent, because it's only also in the last 3 or 4 years that I merged the different worlds of being, you know, a mum and being a corporate executive, and then being this writer and this creative side, and actually collapsing the walls and totally embracing with full authenticity the whole person that I am. And you just, yeah, it brings so much more time to your day. You can, you know, really be free in life. And but I was really intentful about it. I actually made a conscious decision to stop trying to compartmentalize the different components of life. And Karen has helped, you've helped enormously with that, just about embracing everything that you have and that you are and that you want to be, and, you know, not having all of these different pieces to your life. It's just one life. You got to go for it.
Beautiful.
What I love about it as well, Kelly and Adrea, is that you did it, and your whole corporate world embraced it. You know, no shutting. Everyone did it. It was absolutely nice. So much so that it actually worked together. It was just amazing to watch.
Yes.
It really was very inspiring, Kelly. Absolutely.
Thank you. You too. Back at you.
Oh, love it. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kelly. And everyone, watch out for Kelly's next book coming out soon. Awesome fun.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye. Bye. And we've got lucky last.
Oh,
Emma. She's been patiently waiting to come and join us. Hi, everyone.
That's just the way we are. Look at us three.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
God, we're all from so many different. Like, look at this. You know, literally across the world. Like,
we've got it covered.
People don't know. Adria's from Vermont. I'm from in Perth, and Emma's in Ireland. You know, we've got the whole world covered here. You know,
This
isn't it
is
amazing?
one of my favorite trios on the planet.
It absolutely is so fun.
at each other. We just smiled at each other.
I know. I'm pretty sure we've known each other lifetimes.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
We just started.
Absolutely. You even got to hang out with our dad in Ireland, Adria, didn't you?
I know. I love your dad. I love your dad so much.
I think Mum and Dad
He always asks about you. I was on a call with him before. He's always asked, how's Adria going? Yeah, absolutely. He might be watching now. Hey, Dad. Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. We love you. Okay, Emma, let's get talking about your contribution. We don't have to talk about it inside unless you want to, but let's talk about your story, because it was supposed to be something else that you wrote, but you got very intentional and honored what needed to flow. I'm so proud.
I know,
I'm so
I want
proud.
to say congratulations. Well done. Well done. Super
Bow,
proud.
take a
It's
bow.
great to see. Yes, I know. I am loving the Alchemy of Life Magic series. I'm same as you, Adria. I have them all. So, but well done, sis. Absolutely amazing. Keep it coming. Keep them coming. Loving them. My story of intent ended up going back 25 years, you know, and that wasn't whenever we first talked about this, and I'm so honored to be in one of your books. It's lovely to be asked.
Really?
I was going to talk about, huh?
You were like, really? And I was like, absolutely.
I didn't expect it. And I was going to talk about current intent and different things, you know, that I put out there, and how they're different to goals. Because I'm really, I suppose the more you talk about it, the more you kind of be around similar people, you begin to understand it a wee bit better and feel it a wee bit better. And then I done a podcast and I got chatting to you, and one night this story literally came pouring out of me in one night. And it's about 25 years ago, you know, when the odds were stacked against me and the path that I thought I was going to take in life had changed for the better. But it had changed, and it kind of left me thinking, oh my goodness. But I knew I had to do something about it. So I set the intent, didn't know how it was going to happen, didn't have the resources to make it happen. But I believed, not necessarily in myself. That's probably where you come in, Karen. You believed in me, but I believed I could achieve it. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. Now, and I didn't do it on my own. I had help from Karen and Mum and Dad. You know, there was people on the way that helped me on my journey. But I just knew I had to achieve this to make a better life for me and Chloe. I didn't know how I was going to do it. So that resonated with me as being an intention. I set the intent. Didn't know how I was going to do it. And again, with your lovely inspired thoughts that we talk about, you know, listen to what's coming your way and go with it. You know, hear the universe saying, right, try this or try that. You know what I mean? So I done that, and I couldn't believe, like, that's 25 years ago. So, I mean, it's been about a long time. It's just when you recognized it. And it was only through our conversations that I recognized, because I was going to talk about, obviously, my book and the intent and IVF and that. And I thought, no, this is another amazing journey that I had been on, where the intent was definitely set and the odds were stacked against me. You know, I shouldn't have been so brazen enough to think I could educate myself after having a child so young, but well, it proved them otherwise.
That's the thing. Intentions can often be unconventional, and that's why sometimes it can, you know, you can come up against judgments and criticisms. Yeah. But when you are so intent in your intent, and even you talk about it there, you didn't know how it was going to happen. It's not your job to know how it's going to happen. It's your job to set the intention and honor it. And then you are just a prime example of what can happen when you believe in yourself and have faith in it happening. It's amazing, because I remember watching that journey, watching the intricacies and all of the little challenges that you had to grow into and everything. And you were absolutely focused, but also totally aligned with your core values as well to get there and to make it happen. And here you are, 22 years now working in mental health. Like that's...
I think it's really important, and I think that this is a nice part about the book that helps people get there sooner. Or it's interesting how a lot of us did what was in the book, and now we can do it more deliberately, right? Like you take the steps anyway, but sometimes they take years and years. Like True, it took years and years and years and years to publish, as long as you know what Emma went through. Like, and I think that now that I've been through it and I've done it, you know, now it's so much faster, right? I don't know if you've noticed that, Emma, or, you know, right? Like now you have the toolkit. And I think that that's a beautiful thing, that Karen writing it down and giving us the toolkit to remind us, just like when I saw those focus nuggets, or when I saw some of the techniques that Karen offered, I was like, yeah, when I do all those 5 things that you'll have to get in the book, everybody, things do happen faster. They do happen. And so it is about that action, but they're really fun things, right? And the thing about intentions is they're really fun. They're really what you want your life to become and be. So why not do the stuff to get them there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I say, we overthink things as humans, don't we? And we're all intentional living without even knowing it. But then whenever we become mindful and aware of what intentional living is and are able to navigate that, it's like a super fuel for life, and you're able to really have a more exhilarating, fulfilling journey it's just like, wow, people say, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, I'm just going for it. I'm going for it, and I'm taking you along for the ride if you want to come. So come join me,
Yes.
And that's what the room was full of, amazing people who are on that journey and making it happen and doing it, setting intentions in their lives. That's the thing. It's amazing.
I'm always saying that. How do you do that? And we have a regular conversation about this. How do you do that?
But that's how we feel about you, Emma. That's what I say. How's she doing that?
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Isn't it wonderful? Okay, everyone, I have popped, and thank you so much, Emma, for joining me on that. So I have popped a link in the comments on my profile to a Zoom link. If anyone wants to come and join us in there for a private chat, a bit of a after party, so to speak, although I don't have any alcohol or anything, just energy party. But yeah, we're going to end our live broadcast now. We've just gone over an hour.
amazing.
Did that feel like an hour?
No, never. It was great. So wonderful. So wonderful. Congratulations, Karen.
So much, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Bye. Bye from us.
Bye.